So I decided to get smart recently and actually pirate the Cobra Kai series because I didn't think to actually do that earlier. I didn't know that you could like pirate stuff that's like Netflix original or YouTube original. I don't know why, but yeah, I'm still new to pirating shit. But I've been watching the Cobra Kai series, and the more I watched it, the more I think about all the idiots who say that Daniel LaRusso is the real bully. First of all, I just have to say set the record straight and say that if you think that, I mean, really, you must be a bully yourself. Cobra Kai, in the old school movies, I mean, even in the new series, was run by bullies. Everyone there was a jerk. And the fact that people were defending Johnny and these other kids is just mind-blowing to me. Like, I mean, seriously, like, it's just disturbing to me. How many people in the comments were saying that Daniel was the bully when he was the one who played by the rules? He was the good kid. He was trained by the good sensei. They were saying shit like he stole Johnny's girl. First of all, he was a jerk to her, okay? You're allowed to steal someone's girl if they're dating a jerk, But obviously people can't see that because we must live in a world full of bullies. And quite honestly, it's just disturbing to me. There were other reasons people were spitting out, but basically this just has to be said. People these days really need, they need some help. Like, they really need some kind of, Mr. Miyagi in their life. People have bad role models, and a lot of people these days have no role models. That's the sad thing, A lot of guys don't have a father these days. And, because of that, they act feminine, but they become these white knight simps. And they think it's okay to bully other people or to defend people who are bullies like Johnny Lawrence. But yeah, anyways, that's all I really had to say about that. I guess I don't really have to say much on this video, except that Daniel LaRusso was not the bully. Now, was he perfect? Of course not. But he was just a kid, he was the one who was, struggling coming up, and Johnny was a spoiled kid, he had the rich father. So, I mean, think about that too, guys. Johnny was a spoiled rich kid. Danny was the poor kid, coming up the Jersey streets trying to make it. It's just people have no idea what it's really like to struggle. A lot of my trolls, I know that they're entitled rich kids, most of them. They don't know what it's like to struggle. Otherwise, they wouldn't tell me stupid shit like to clean my room or, to lose weight or whatever. Because they're not part of that struggle. I grew up poor. I was part of the struggle. Many kids these days, and I'm glad that there are kids that make it, but the thing is, there's just a lot of spoiled brats these days. And, sites like YouTube make it all too obvious. But I will say this, though. I sort of understand what the director was trying to encompass when he made these Karate Kid movies. He was basically, and I'm sure there are other people who picked this up too, but he was portraying Cobra Kai as the black of the yin yang, and Mr. Miyagi and Daniel as the white. So when the white and the black come together, you have the complete yin yang. You have the offense, the defense, hard style, soft style coming together, and that's how you create the perfect martial arts style. And it's more than that too. It's a life philosophy, of being kind, but also being aggressive, standing your ground and things like that. And I really believe that in the season 2 of the Cobra Kai, that's what's going to happen, is Danny LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence will probably come together and teach martial arts together. And I hope that's what happens anyways. Also, I just wanted to say this, like, they didn't need to make a series of this. That just needs to be said. They could have just made another movie. But, I mean, truth be told, like, and I'm sorry to be a hater here, but really, like, when people neglect series, to me it just says that they don't care. And maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems to me like Ralph Macchio and the actor who played Johnny and the others, I mean, where were they, 10, 20 years ago? They could have made another awesome Karate Kid movie, but they didn't. And I know that they say, like, I've watched interviews with them and they say, like, well, we just didn't want to ruin it or blah, blah, blah. But really, they could have done more with it, but they chose not to. And I think that is kind of upsetting. Also, I mean, again, I don't mean to be a hater here, but none of them are really looking that great, bro. I mean, Ralph Macchio looks like he could get, his ass beat by, one of those high school kids. I mean, he's just skinny and weak looking. So is the guy who played Johnny. I mean, really, dude, like, you can only act so badass, Mr. Lawrence, when you look like you weigh 100 pounds soaking wet. I mean, really, guys, get gains. And the even sadder thing is they're not even real martial artists, and it's just kind of sad. I mean, really, like, to play that kind of an iconic role, you think it would have inspired both of them to be real martial artists, but it didn't, and that's kind of sad. There's actually other actors who weren't in this new Cobra Kai stuff who are real martial artists and who are people who I have more respect for. Unfortunately, I don't know their names, but one of the guys in Cobra Kai is actually a real-life martial artist. He was a kid. He kind of had the long brown hair. I'm trying to remember a famous quote from him. Was he the guy that said, "Put him in a body bag"? He had the dark skin, the dark brown hair. He's a real martial artist. If you saw him today, though, he looks completely different. His head shaved and shit like that. Also, though, this guy might be coming to season 2, but the guy in Karate Kid 3, the bad guy with the ponytail, was actually a real-life martial artist. So he might be coming to season 2 Cobra Kai, and that would be really cool. That brings up another point, people I would like to see in Cobra Kai season 2. Definitely ponytail dude. I forgot his name, man. I should know that shit. Mike Barnes, and I heard that he's confirmed to become back to Karate Kid, or to Cobra Kai. I don't know if he's a real-life martial artist. I don't think that he is. But, it's whatever. It's cool to see him come back. And, of course, the Cobra Kai leader himself. I am so great at names. I'm just having a brain fart, guys. But you guys know who I'm talking about. The evil Cobra Kai leader. The one that, beat up Johnny because he lost the fight. Which I really did feel sorry for him when that happened, And unfortunately, when kids, especially if they don't have a father, if they have bad role models, 9 times out of 10, it's going to turn them into a jerk too. And really, it's not entirely their fault, but still, it's just sad. And I've seen it happen too, growing up with kids who didn't have a dad or just had wrong role models in their life. It's just a sad thing. But anyways, guys, that's all I really got to say about that. So, yeah, Daniel was not the real bully. People are idiots. And, whoever wants to think that, you go right ahead, man. But the truth is, you just look like a bully when you say stuff like that. Johnny was the bully. He was the one that beat up Daniel, because he was hitting on his girlfriend or whatever. And, had his buddies and him corner him just because Daniel sprayed him with some water, in the Halloween scene. And it was nice to see them get their asses kicked too by Pat Morita, who played Mr. Miyagi. It's a shame that Pat Morita, wasn't alive to be part of this. But I mean, really, if you think about it, if he were still alive, God, he would be so old. He would be like 110. I mean, maybe not quite 110, but God, he would probably be at least in his 90s. And, I don't think he'd really be able to do that much. But, it is what it is. I'm sure that if Pat Morita were here, he'd be pretty proud of, the series and the cast for doing this. And but yeah, really though, like, Pat Morita was the best thing about Karate Kid. I mean, that goes without saying. He was, the best actor, had the best roles. He made the Karate Kid series. Daniel LaRusso was good, other characters were good, but yeah, Pat Morita, it is a shame that he wasn't able to be in this, but You know, it is what it is, like I said. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you. This is something I was gonna say about the movie, though. Like, a lot of people bitched about the Karate Kid with Jaden Smith, and I just have to say that that movie wasn't bad either. It was a little bit different, but really, I mean, that's what made it good. It gave a nice change to the Karate Kid series. Some people say it was more like Kung Fu, like the Kung Fu Kid, and they're actually right. And I thought that was really cool. But you know, Kung Fu and karate aren't really that different, so it's not like it made the story that different. But it's worth checking out if you haven't seen the Karate Kid with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith. Definitely worth the watch. Sucks what happened to Jaden Smith. I don't know about that kid, man. He just seems like, oh, I don't know if he would. I don't know if he would ever do another Karate Kid, man. That guy's kind of strange. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. So I'll see you next video. Peace.